Van Gogh, the misunderstood genius who transformed art. Welcome to a fascinating journey through the mind and canvas of one of history's most influential artists, Vincent van Gogh. In just 10 years, Van Gogh went from darkness to light, from raw realism to an expressive explosion. Join us on this tour through the 4 key stages that defined his brush. Our story begins between 1880 and 1885 in what we call Dutch realism. Here, Van Gogh was a social chronicler, a sensitive soul who sought to dignify the harsh life of the peasantry. His palette was somber, earthy, a reflection of an unadorned reality. The Potato Eaters from 1885 is the manifesto of this period. An oil lamp illuminates the scene, revealing naked and deformed hands that work the earth and are nourished by it. The impasto, the heavily loaded brushstrokes, were not just an aesthetic choice. They were a metaphor for the harshness and truth of the life he portrayed. Color did not decorate, but revealed a social truth, the poverty of an environment many preferred to ignore. But everything changed in 1886. Van Gogh arrived in Paris, and his world exploded in color. This is the Parisian Revelation, a stage from 1886 to 1888. The French capital exposed him to new art movements, influencing him with Impressionism, Neo-Impressionism, and, crucially, Japanese art. He abandoned dark tones for a vibrant palette, a style crisis that reinvented him. He did not copy, he assimilated. He experimented with the juxtaposition of colors, transforming pointillism into small linear brushstrokes that would become the bridge to his mature style. His brush was set free, and color became pure emotion. He produced more than 200 works, including the first glimpses of his iconic sunflowers. The search for light led him to Arles in 1888. Provence dazzled him. "I no longer need Japanese prints. I just need to open my eyes," he exclaimed. Here, in the Yellow House, he dreamed of establishing an artist's studio. The sunflowers, painted for his friend Paul Gogh, symbolized this stage of idealism, but also of tragedy. The friendship broke, and in December 1888, in the middle of an argument, Van Gogh cut off his ear. Arles was the peak of his dream, but also the scene of his greatest collapse. The light he so desperately sought was overshadowed by the darkness of his personal despair. After his crises in May 1889, Van Gogh voluntarily entered the Saint-de-Provence psychiatric hospital. Far from stopping him, confinement liberated his creativity. This is the peak of expression, the period from 1889 to 1890. His psychosis, paradoxically, drove him to paint like never before. In just 1 year at the sanatorium, he produced about 150 works, including The Starry Night and Irises. His mental illness did not stop him. It forced him to look inward, turning his torment into the engine of his most symbolic and expressive work. The chaos of his mind was directly translated into the dynamism of his turbulent, swirling brushstrokes, as seen in the sky of The Starry Night. The sanatorium became his workshop, and painting, his only means of communication, his escape. Van Gogh was a whirlwind of emotions, a genius who, in a decade, transformed his vision of art and our own. His legacy is a reminder that true artistic expression comes from the depths of one's being. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Vincent van Gogh. Money Explainers.